Yeah. No, it's great to be here. Great to be here. It's New York Times. It's very exciting. Yes, I can hear you. Yeah. See if you can do something with these eyes. Yeah, got bags like Yoda's ball sack. So you just want me to explain why British people are so f***ed off with Boris Johnson, basically? In a way that an American audience can understand, right? Without swearing, obviously. Sorry. Let me think. Boris Johnson, a demonstrable liar who's only out for himself? Don't know if that sounds familiar to an American audience. Boris Johnson, a narcissist with shit hair. Again, sound familiar? Actually, I can't say liar, can I? Really? Oh, in the UK, you can't call them liars. You have to say, like, oh, he inadvertently misled Parliament. Seriously, I can just come out and say it. Call him a liar. Oh, God bless America. OK, let's go for one, shall we? Yeah. The first thing you need to know about Boris Johnson is he's a liar. Trumpian is the ease with which he tells porkies, but Boris is a product of a system that... Sorry? Porkies? Porky pies, lies, Cockney rhyming slang, you know, apples and pears, and you don't have that, do you? No, of course you don't, American audience. Sorry, New York Times. Boris Johnson is a liar. Just keep it simple, stick to that. All right. Let's start from the beginning, okay? It began with a party.
It seems there really might have been a Christmas party at Downing Street.
Staff here in number 10 held a large party, seemingly breaking COVID rules.
2 parties.
New allegations that he broke his own COVID lockdown rules again.
16 of them. 16 separate piss-ups. Most of them when the rest of the country was in full lockdown.
You should not be meeting friends. If your friends ask you to meet, you should say no.
At a time when the Prime Minister was telling us all to have no social contact with friends, colleagues, and, in thousands of instances, dying relatives, when the cops were handing out fines for anyone inviting more than 2 people over for a cup of tea, the people who set those rules were having work drinks, summer garden parties, and later Christmas office quiz nights. But the one that got us really riled up...
2 parties were held at number 10 the night before the Duke of Edinburgh's funeral.
Boris was forced to apologise to the Queen when it emerged 2 of those parties took place the night before her husband's funeral. The Queen, she's our head of state, a bit like your president, but you know, she's in her 90s, so she's a lot younger than your guy. So on the day that the Queen sat on her own at her husband's funeral because of rules Boris had set, his closest colleagues in government were taking Alka-Seltzer and the morning after pill, having got blind drunk on BYO, M&S, G&Ts. BYO, bring your own, booze, drink, alcohol. M&S, Marks and Spencer's. It's like a British upmarket Walmart, except you can buy butter instead of military-grade assault rifles. G&T's, gin and tonics, a sort of English alcoholic Sprite. Anyway.
All the guidelines were observed. I thought that I was attending a work event.
Boris denied any knowledge of any parties until it became clear he was at some of them.
Mr. Speaker, I want to apologise.
i.e. he lied to the country and to Parliament. And he did it again this week when he lied to Parliament by denying that he'd previously lied to Parliament. And that's Boris all over. His lies are no secret. He essentially lied to the Queen when he illegally shut down Parliament. He lied to the country when he said Brexit would be good for farming and fishing and trade deals and the economy. He's been fired twice for lying. He was fired as a journalist from the London Times newspaper for simply just making stuff up, and he was fired for lying about shagging someone behind his wife's back. Shagging is English for making love, but in a sort of round the back of the pub next to some bins sort of way. A pub, that's a British bar where they serve warm ale and Scotch eggs. Scotch eggs, they're boiled eggs covered in sausage meat and breadcrumbs, and they're f***ing disgusting. Sorry, I've just gone a bit off track there, haven't I? It's a bit nervous. New York Times. How can someone with demonstrably questionable morals and a more than casual relationship with the truth reach such a powerful position? One word springs to mind: entitlement. Boris comes from a long succession of posh, upper-class, bumbling idiots who are destined for greatness only because no one has ever or will ever tell them they're not. Boris went to Eton, a sort of Hogwarts for wankers, where you get taught Latin and tax avoidance whilst wearing full evening dress. These people have never spoken to a real person in their life, apart from perhaps their chauffeur. Then on to Oxford, where Boris Johnson was part of the infamous Bullingdon Club, a fun, elite social club for the boys. Activities included smashing up restaurants and burning £50 notes in front of homeless people. Allegedly.
But, you know, it was great fun at the time.
And the British government is full of them. Entitled assholes with a Bentley and a nanny making decisions for us all about things that they will never understand. Aristocrats running the 5th largest economy in the world whilst allowing 30% of British children to live in relative poverty, where the rich get richer and the poor literally get hungrier. Millionaires who spend their time in government giving tax breaks and PPE contracts to their rich mates. Cannibals, self-serving parasites, tapeworms in tiaras, swimming through the intestines of the state, sucking all the goodness out of it for their own repugnant gratification. Boris was born into wealth. He never wanted for anything, never really earned his place in the world, a narcissistic serial shagger, an opportunistic liar who's happy to work outside the law and the realms of accepted decency, and who has dragged his once great political party into scandal and moral bankruptcy. Sound familiar? You can see where I'm going with this, right? Boris and Trump, both products of a broken political system that rewards ignorance and hubris. And like Trump, Boris says he loves his country, yet Boris and his cabal of vicious right-wing populists show open disdain for all the things good about it. The NHS, the welfare state, teachers and judges, the courts. They hate the BBC and allow corporations to churn raw sewage into our rivers and beaches, selling off and deregulating anything they can for a quick buck, allowing and openly encouraging the country to rot from the inside out so they can sell it for scrap to the highest bidder. Bring it back a bit. Yeah, too much. Too much. It was the self-serving parasites, wasn't it? Okay, let's go for another.